Send in the boys. Move aside, lads. I'll do it myself. Looks like we've got one cornered here. Take his head.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the review. Let me know what you think. Did you like it? Didn't you like it? Just let me know. Anyways, I enjoyed painting these guys up and I like the result, so I'm happy with that. Anyways, what I wanted to share is I made an Instagram because I'm really wondering what you guys are making. I would love to see it. So I'll put the link down below and show me what you make. Show me what you're proud of. Anyways, I'll enjoy watching it. Thanks a lot, and the painting video will come right now. So, I think it's time to put some more boys in our army. So, this time I'm going to be painting up some orc brutes. Let's start with the skin. Okay, so first off we're going to do the skin with Godrippa Flesh contrast paint. Let's go! Okay, so the skin is dry. And now, if you've seen my previous videos, you know what I'm going to do. Wildwood on the trousers. Rhinox hide on the belt and straps. After that I'm going to use snakebite leather contrast paint over the belt and straps. And this guy has a satchel here. I'm going to use Bane Blade Brown over it, and let's see how that turns out, and if that's not the color I'm going to apply snakebite leather contrast paint over that. So let's start with the Wildwood. So I've applied the Baneblade Brown, but I think I'm going to do it on the shoes as well. So let's do that. Okay, so with the Baneblade Brown applied, I'm now going to apply the snakebite leather on all the brown pieces I just painted. I'm not sure about the Baneblade Brown actually, but at least the straps I'm going to do the snakebite leather. So I checked at the sole of his foot right here, and I'm just going to apply the snakebite leather over the Baneblade Brown as well. So I really like this. The Baneblade Brown and then the snakebite leather over it actually looks like leather. So I'm going to remember this one. And by the way guys, if you want to know how I come up with some of the color schemes, I just experiment because I have no idea, but this one turned out really nice. So I'll remember this one. Okay, so the snakebite leather is dry now. And I'm going to apply Baler Brown to all the stitches and the ropes and things like that. Let's go. Stitching is done. I'm going to try something new this time. If you have seen my previous videos, I always use the Agrox Earthshade straight over the Ravebone for these Roby straps. But I am going to try Bader Brown and then Agrox Earthshade over these straps for this army and just see what happens. It's always good to experiment, I guess. So the straps are painted. I'm now first going to do fix all the green parts that I messed up because I missed a part there, and there's just a couple of spots where I went over the green. I'm just going to fix that, and yeah, I'm going to find out what I'm going to do next, I guess. I'm not sure yet. So I did the green again, and what I was noticing, look at these big ass frog feet. Damn, they look fine. Anyway, I'm going to use lead belcher on all the metallic parts, and I think I'm going to add a little bit of Abaddon black on the lead belcher so it gets darker, and see if that works out. So I added some Abaddon black to the lead belcher. As you can see, it just darkened a bit. I wonder how it turns out when it's on the model. The darkened lead belcher is on. It looks good. So now I'm going to retouch every part of Ravebone that I've touched with other colors by now, and parts of the skin again, because the lead belcher is everywhere. So using Auric Flash for the skin tone, going to do that. So now that the white is back on, I'm going to use Wildwood for the shafts of the weapon, so the wooden shafts, and I forgot a piece of this guy's pants, so I'm going to do that with the Wildwood as well. Okay, so with a lot of the base layers applied now, I'm going to apply shades. And if you've seen my previous videos, you know which shades I'm going to use. Of course, my beloved Agrox Earth shade. Going to use it on the rope-like thingies and on the lead belcher everywhere. And also on the tabard if the character has one. Then for the white armor, I'm going to use Athonian Camo shade, and I'm going to apply that pretty thickly. Also the earth shade is also going to be applied thickly. And a layer of Biel-10 green over the skin of the orcs. And then I'm going to apply a contrast paint, Agoros Dunes, over all the chains if the character has one. So let's go. now going to apply a really light shade of Beal 10 green. Okay, so now that I'm happy with the skin, I'm going to apply 2 layers of Gulliman flesh to the mouth of them, and also a little bit on the face for the expression, maybe a bit on the hands as well. Okay, I'm going to try something different because the Gulliman flesh isn't really covering well, and I've seen that in the previous orcs I painted up. But I used the flesh tearers red on the Maw Grunta that I did, so I'm going to try that in the mouth now. And now I'm still going to use the Gulliman flesh over the face and the hands for the expression. Okay, so next part is going to be Skeleton Horde contrast paint over the bones, and on the other guys there's one with like tusks. So, and skulls and stuff. So next, Skeleton Horde. Okay, so I did the Skeleton Horde and he has a head in his hand. I have never painted human skin before, but I think I'm going to try a layer of Kislev flesh and then some Gulliman flesh over it, and then just see where it leaves me, and then yeah, hope it's good, and otherwise I'll have to change some things up. And also the helmet, I believe it's Stormcast Eternal, so I'm going to use Retributor armor. I have painted a couple of these guys, so yeah, not in a dead state though, so let's try. So I done the helmet, I done the head. I think I'm going to peel down the head a bit because, well, it's a cut off head, so the blood is probably drained by now. And there has been something that has been bothering me, and it's this panel right here. I think I'm going to make that the dark lead belcher as well. I think it's a bit too much white for my taste, even though I like the other parts white as it is. I think the dark lead belcher would fit better than this, so I'm going to do that and then find out what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I like this way more. I'm going to use Agoros Dunes contrast paint over the, yeah, what are they called? The arrow kind of thingies everywhere on the lead belcher. So I'm going to do the hair of the severed head with rattling grime. Okay, so this is what we ended up with yesterday. I finished with the hair. I'm going to leave the head aside for now. But what I am going to do, the pointy bits I tried with Agros Dunes, but I guess the lead belcher is too dark now because it barely makes a difference. So I'm going to use Tinny Tin by Vallejo for all the spiky parts and also the belt buckle thingies. And I'm just going to clean up like the roby parts here and yeah, the stitches here. And I saw a couple of spots where the skin is still not really nice, so I'm just going to use this time to clean up the miniatures a bit, because we're going to highlight and stuff in a bit, so I want it to be as clean as possible, I guess. So let's do that. Oh, and also going to do the teeth with Morgas bone and nails as always. So So, while I was doing all those teeny tiny things, I was thinking about just putting the eyes in as well with Flesh Terror's Red. Wish me luck. Okay, so the eyes are in, and now I'm going to use Agrox Earthshade over all the Roby things I did in a couple of steps ago. And while I'm at it, in my first video, I used the Agrox Earthshade really thinly in the curves of the muscles, I guess. And I'm going to do that again because I like the result of that. And yeah, let's see what happens with that. Okay, so I did what I wanted to do. Maybe a little bit too harshly here, but that's okay. Now I'm going to layer the green a bit on the top of the muscles, and I'm going to layer the white a bit, and after that I think it's time for detailing. Yep. So for the skin I'm going to use the Orc flesh again and just water it down so it's like a little bit of a glaze, I think. Let's see how that turns out. Okay, so now that that's all done, I'm going to start with the highlighting, and we're starting with the lead belcher. But because I darkened it down, a lot. It's very blacky now. Not sure if lead belcher itself will be a good highlight, but I'll just test on one of these models and I'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm done with the highlighting of the lead belcher. I think it looks nice, even though it's a pretty light color, but yeah, it looks okay. Now I'm going to highlight the bony parts and things like the tusks and skulls on the models with Ushapti bone. so highlighting the skeleton horde part is done. Now I want to take an extra step that I usually skip, but I'm going to highlight the boots and the satchel, and I want to highlight the straps that I did with the Baylor Brown and Agrux Earthshade. I had to look back at my videos that I made, which colors I used, but I'm going to use the Baylor Brown on the shoes. And I think Baylor Brown with a little bit of white just to highlight this. Let's try. Okay, so that didn't really work out the way I wanted it, but how I did it in the end was mix some Rhinox hide with the Baylor Brown and then just layer it on a little bit. Just a little bit of color, also on the boots. And what I am going to do now is use that same combination to paint in the darker parts of the tabards. So. Okay, so I did the boots and the tabard, and now I'm going to highlight the straps, and I'm just going to use Baylor Brown and mix in some Rave Bone just to brighten it up a bit. Okay, with the straps highlighted, I'm now going to highlight any wood on the miniatures with Steel Legion Drab. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to highlight the white armor with Rave Bone. And I'll layer some parts back up with the Rave Bone, just watery. And hope it comes out looking nice. Okay, so we're getting near the completion. What I'm going to do next is I layered up the white, and just as with the Maw Grunt that I did, I'm going to do a very thin layer of Athonian camo shade again, just so it's a little greenish. So doing that. so the camo shade is back on, just a thin layer. And now I'm going to mix Everland Sunset and Auroch Flash together to create some highlights on the face of the Aurochs and maybe their hands. Just a little bit of a yellowish green. So. Okay, so with the highlighting of the skin done, I'm going to try something I have never tried before. Use blood for the blood god, because this guy has a head in his hand. And I want to apply blood on it and also on the weapon, as if he just decapitated this guy. And maybe a bit on the helmet. Maybe decapitated him with the helmet on and then took the helmet as a trinket. I'm not sure, but at least the head and the weapon. Okay, so I'm really happy with the blood for the blood god. Let's try and focus in on the head. I did a bit on the base, but if you watch my previous videos, I'm going to do the bases afterwards. But this is what I really like, because when he stands up, the blood drips down like this, and on the other side it drips down like this. So that looks like gravity. So yeah, I'm happy with this. I think this looks really nice. Okay, so I added some more blood to his hand. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Anyways, there's just one thing I'm going to do and then it's done. I'm going to use Guilliman Flash contrast paint in the ears of the Aurochs. That's it. Alright guys, this was my video on the brutes. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you enjoyed, let me know. If you didn't enjoy, also let me know. And I'll see you in the next video.